Muy bien. Pues ahora sí, vamos empezando. Y bueno, pues antes de presentarles a nuestra muy especial speaker de hoy, pónganme en el chat con un emoji cómo es que se sienten hoy. Tal vez están cansados, tal vez estuvieron en escuela o trabajando, o están con toda la energía. Ok, great. Muy bien. Ok. I see a lot of people with a lot of energy. That's good. You're cold? Okay. Excellent. So I see a lot of positivity here. Some of you are surprised, happy. That's great. Very good, because that's what we need today. A lot of energy for session number 3. Okay. Well, bueno, pues les voy a presentar a nuestra speaker de hoy. Y bueno, pues bienvenidos a la sesión 3. El día de hoy, Ana Lucía nos va a presentar el tema de CV y cartas de recomendación. Bueno, Ana Lucía es originaria de Hermosillo, Sonora, y es licenciada en enseñanza del inglés por la Universidad de Sonora y tiene una maestría en gestión educativa por parte de la CRESO. Ha sido maestra de inglés desde el 2009 y ha ocupado cargos administrativos en diferentes instituciones educativas. Actualmente trabaja como asesora educativa en EducationUSA México, basado en un centro binacional American Spaces en Hermosillo, Sonora, y cubre los estados de Sonora, Baja California Sur y Sinaloa. Entonces, bienvenidos y adelante, Ana Lucía.
Thank you. All right. So today we're going to have the session. All right. It's going to be in English, most of it. I'm going to ask you that if you have questions, you can put them in the chat or you can save them for the end of the session. Okay. We're going to be covering a lot of information today. And it would be recommendations, it will be specifications of the requirements in this call of participation. And if you want, you can take screenshots, you can take notes, all right? And if we see you in the camera, we say hi to you and we thank you for that as well. Okay. So let's get started. Your CV. Have you ever done a CV? Maybe it's the first time that you do it. Or maybe it's not the first time and you just update your CV or you translate it. Okay. So your CV is the academic educational version of your resume. Resume is more focused on professional, but your CV will be more focused on academic and educational. Okay. In practice, a CV will often be much longer than a resume, but it's traditionally a one-page document. It is usually asked for scholarships, and in this case, we're going to be asking you one for this call of participation. Okay. Now, the specifications of the Opportunity Funds call of participation, your CV must be in PDF format. Okay. And the name of the document should be your first and last name and the specification of what it is, if it's your CV or resume. It's up to you. But it should include your first and last name. Okay. Now, your document must include at least the following categories, which would be education, high school for undergraduate candidates, and university for graduate candidates. Okay. And for graduate, you can also include your experience. It could be work related or volunteering. And of course, we encourage you to include all your extracurricular activities. Okay. And you don't have to include your photo. All right. So this is like copy paste from the call of participation. Okay. So you can read it from the call of participation as well. Now, I'm going to focus on what to include, okay? To give you an idea of what you can include. Now, I'm going to divide a little bit. You're going to listen to me like undergraduate or graduate, so you should know already which candidate you are. Okay, undergraduate, it's just for you to do a bachelor's degree in the US, and graduate, master's or PhD. Okay. So the undergraduate, you must include your education section, your work experience if you have to, extracurricular activities. Awards and honors are more than welcome as well. If you have any volunteer experience and the additional skills that you can include sports related skills, technical skills, like if you can fix a car, construction, or any computer repair. Data analysis skills, if you have done any course or you have done any experience in that. Communication or teaching skills, writing skills, speech, debate skills, and artistic skills. This doesn't mean that you have to have them all, okay? But this is an idea for you to get a little bit creative with your CV, okay? Now, for the graduate candidates, it's a little bit more like a little bit more information that we would love to see, okay? Like research experience. Remember that you're going for a master's or a PhD, okay? If you have any publications, if you have ever presented, internships, professional experience, or if you have had any fellowship, okay, certifications, and we also want to know your research interests, okay, and professional affiliations, and also the undergraduate, you can include languages if you can speak or you have studied any other language than English. All right. So far, so good. Yes. Okay. Now, some tips for organizing the experience section. Remember, your CV must be in PDF and list your experiences in reverse chronological order. Make sure that they're in chronological order, but it can be like from the one that it's like the newest to oldest, okay? Or the current to the one that gave you that experience to reach, okay? For each activity, list the organization, the business, even if it's in your school. Like if you did a volunteering in your school, if it's like in your high school, mention the school, the location, what did you do, the position, and the dates of experience. These dates are important for us to know how much time you invested in this activity, okay? And avoid the first person. Instead of saying I manage, just say manage this activity, okay, or this group or this club, all right? And keep the verb tenses consistent. So, what do we mean with this? So, if you're still participating in the activity, use the present tense verb. If you already finished the activity, use the verb in past tense. Okay? Yes? Thumbs up? Remember, I'm a teacher, so I'm going to be a little bit like thumbs up. Yeah, woo. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Now, we're going to be focusing on the format. Okay? What do we see? These are like some things that we're not going to like focus on. Like you don't have to include your gender, your weight, your height, your age, your marital status. Dependence means people who depend on you economically, like in with the money, race, ethnic background, religion, or your picture. Okay, so this is not a good example or this one. Okay, I know the templates from Canva look really, really pretty. Okay, but we need to keep it professional. We need to keep it simple. Okay, and please don't lie. Okay, don't exaggerate. Don't d- try to include things that you have done. Okay, so it is important that okay, I was involved in this activity, but I was not the leader or I was not the person in charge, but I printed the project, but that shouldn't be part of your CV, okay? Things like that, all right? Now, some recommendations for the CV, you need to be clear, concise, okay, current, typo, mistake free, okay? If you are wondering, you can ask someone else to read it. And the 10, 12 point font is really good. Okay. It's easy to read, so it's good. Try to use only one font. Okay. If you are using only Times New Roman, only Arial, stick to that one. Okay. Bold, italics, underlined, use it not too much. Okay. If you want to highlight something, you can use it, but don't overuse it. Okay. Now, well designed to generate interest quickly. I'm going to show you an example of what we suggest should be a well designed. Balance space between the text and the white space. Again, in PDF, it is super important that you upload it in PDF. Exclude information before university if you are grad. Okay, we want to know from your university and on. Okay, and before high school if you're undergrad. If you are applying for undergrad, we want to know only what you did in high school, maybe your last year of middle school, but not before that. We don't want to know where you went to preschool to. Okay. All right. It should be 2 to 4 pages. The CV, it's a good number. You don't have to complete the 2 to 4 pages, or 1 to 2 pages. It's okay. Okay. If you can keep it in 1 page or 2 pages, it's fine. All right. Do not use colors or graphics except if you're planning on being in artistic or designer career. Maybe you can include it, but for this color participation, stick to simple. Okay. Do not include references. You're not going to be including the people who can provide information for you this time. And updated professional email address. I'm going to stay a little bit in this one. If you don't have a professional email address, try to do one before you apply to the call of participation. Okay, what do we mean with professional? It can be a Gmail. Okay, you can create it really fast. That it includes your name. Okay, not like the ones that we did back in 2003 when I don't know. I'm going to show my age here. But not the ones that included maybe the cartoon that we were watching back then or the movie that we loved. Okay, maybe a professional would be including your name. If you're smiling, that means that you already have one. Maybe your Facebook or something is with that email, or it's Hotmail or something. So you should already have a professional email at this point of your career. Okay, and make sure that it's an email that you check currently or that you usually check. Okay. So let's focus on the format. All right. So we can move on to the wrap up. All right. So for contact information, it is important that you include, of course, your name. Okay. If you want to include the pronouns, it's okay. Your phone number, if it's necessary. For this case, I don't think it's mandatory, but you can include a current phone number. The email address, again, it should be professional. Your address, it's optional. Maybe for this time, you can include the city and state where you are at the moment. Okay, and if you have a LinkedIn, a website, GitHub, or Linktree that provides information, professional information about yourself, you can include the link. Okay. All right. So this is kind of focused on grad, but you can put it for undergrad as well. All right. So you can include the name of the last school that you went to, the university, okay, and or high school that you are at. You can include it in Spanish. You don't have to translate the name of your school, okay? If you all the degrees that you have had, or the one that you're currently at, or the name of the high school again. And if you are going for a PhD, you can include your master's or you all the things that you want to include in education, okay? It is important that you include when you finish it, and if you are actually at that point, you can put current year. Okay. And your GPA, you can include it here. Remember that you are also uploading your grades, so it should match the GPA in your CV to the one that you upload in the how to apply. All right. Relevant coursework, if you think it's relevant that you include the classes that you have taken, if they align with the program that you want to study, you can include them. This is optional. So it can give us an idea of why you decided to study that career. Okay? Now, professional and research experience. This is like, again, research experience is more for grad students. Okay? And or if you have the experience that it's not education, like it's not from the school, you can include it here. What do we want to know about that experience? We want to know the organization name. Again, it can be in Spanish. You don't need to translate it. What did you do the position? Where did you do it? Okay. In case it is out of your city and state, or you did something like maybe in another part of the country, could be. When did you do it? The dates, a brief and concise description of the responsibilities, okay? and of course, action verbs. All right. We have one here with Drake. I know it's a little bit outdated, this meme, but it's very effective. Okay. So, summer camp, responsible for helping children at summer camp. And okay. And what else? Okay. So, if someone reads it, it's like, I have more questions than answers. So it could be YMCA Austin, Texas, spring 2018. Counselor is the position, and the description is supervise daily art projects of 15 campers, aged this to this, culminating in and summer art gallery open to the public and gaining leadership abilities. And I have a very brief but concise description of what you did. And now I understand a little bit more of why you decided to apply. Okay. So, yeah. So far, so good? Yes. If I'm going too fast, let me know. All right. Now, this is some inspiration for you. Maybe you don't do it for this call of participation, but for future calls of participation, when you apply to a university, you can use this information. Okay? Additional information, skills. If you don't have them at the moment, make sure that you start looking for them. There's a lot of resources that they're free. Okay, that they give you certifications. It can be languages, it can be courses, anything, okay? That gives you something, all right? And hopefully, eventually, you will be including Education USA Opportunity Funds grantee, all right? Very good. Now, this is an example of a two-page CV, okay? As you can see, we can see the name of the person, okay? We can see, like, currently, what is this person doing, all right? And the contact information really briefly. Education. We can see that uh, reverse chronological order. Okay, so what is she doing right now? 2013 to the present. She's currently in the University of Southern California doing that. And then she went down. Okay. Now, publications, research engineer experience, leadership experience, awards, fellowships, membership, languages, and interests. At the end, interests, because they're related to, um, I don't know, maybe the school that she's applying to. Okay. So it is very simple. It is really straightforward. It includes everything that we need to know. Okay. And this is a really good example of simple, concise, and straightforward. Okay? Yes? No picture, no colors, no, as you can see, it's really like straight. Okay? All right. Now, in summary, of course, this is what we need to include. Okay? So, the CV is your presentation of academic and professional story. Okay? The categories that we should include are the following, okay? And a clean, polished, and formal document is expected from you, okay? I'm not sure if Juanma or Christy want to add something here. No? We're good? Okay. So, are you ready for the next one? I think, because I am. All right. Yes, letter of recommend. It's singular because we're asking you for one, but we will see right now what is my suggestion right now, okay? So, first of all, what is a letter of recommendation? Okay. It describes a person's qualifications and skills as they relate to education or employment. Okay. These letters typically come from a previous employer, professor, colleague, client, or teacher. Okay. I didn't say any family member. So you shouldn't be uploading a letter of recommendation of a family member. Okay. Now, they discuss the qualities and capabilities that make the candidate a good fit for a given position, college, or scholarship program. Okay, in this case, opportunity funds. All right. So, copy paste from the call of participation. Again, your letter of recommendation must be in PDF format. Okay. The name of the document should be your first and last name. Okay. And what the document is, letter of recommendation. Okay. You need to submit only one letter of recommendation, 1.5 pages long, max. Okay? Now, you need to submit only one, all right? But it can be in Spanish, okay? Yes. So if the person you are asking to, the person doesn't speak or cannot write in English, it can be submitted in Spanish, no problem for this one, okay? Now, why do we ask you for a letter of recommendation? These help us create a picture or profile of you as a candidate from a different perspective, a perspective from a different person, okay? It can shed light to extracurricular activities or personal family background, things otherwise we cannot see in the essay that we mentioned yesterday or the CV, okay? Now, how to choose your recommender. This is important, okay? Eh, who should be your recommender? Okay, the candidates should consider the following when you choose them. How long have you known this person or professor or like boss or colleague or, how many courses have you taken with them if it's your professor? And what is the professional relationship with this person? Okay. And could this person write a detailed letter of recommendation for you? This is important, okay? It's not going to give you extra credit if you give us a recommendation letter from the director of the company, of this company name, if this person doesn't know you. Okay, because it is going to be really, really easy to detect that this person does not know you or has never worked with you. Okay, so it should be someone that knows you pretty well. Now, your recommender should be, as I mentioned, someone who knows you maybe in the academic or professional area. Okay. It can be someone that you're currently working with or someone that you have worked with before. And again, no family or not even friends. Okay. They're not allowed. Now, for graduate candidates, it is up to you if you submit an academic or professional letter. You decide if you go for one or for the other. No problem. Graduate. Okay. Now, it is important to highlight the abilities, qualifications, and strengths of the candidate. So you're going to be asking your recommender to do this for you. And they should provide specific examples to support your claims and show credibility and why you are the perfect fit for the scholarship. So the letter of recommendation should be focused on the scholarship. So you're going to be talking to this person like, you know what, I'm applying for the scholarship. This is what we're looking for. Could you do it for me? Okay. Now, if your recommender asks you to write the letter for him or her to sign it, find another person willing to prepare this document. Okay. So it's important that you find this very particular person. Okay. Now, other factors to consider is the language. Do not choose a person simply because that person speaks English and could write the letter in English. Remember, you can submit one in Spanish. Their title positions does not mean anything if they don't know you and they cannot write a quality letter. Reliability, okay, the letter must be uploaded for the application. So are they the type of person who can have the letter on time? Okay. And this is where I can add an advice. If you're not sure if the person is going to be able, try to ask two recommenders so you can have at least one when you upload your submission. Okay. Now, you should give the recommender enough time to write the letter. Okay. You should send them reminders or you should find a person that you don't have to remind them that much. Okay. Consider the timeline, like if it's a professor, if they're too busy, okay, maybe you should find another person or try to help this person, no, reminding them I need it by, and you should not tell them the deadline. Like if it's February 10th, you should tell them, you know what, it's for February 1st. Okay. So you at least have that time frame for you to have it ready so you can upload it on time. Okay. Now, how can you help your recommender? Yes. You can emphasize some features and explain to your recommender that it is vital that they include the following things: that they include your academic strength, meaning your effort, your collaboration. They can include how well you're with time management, your organization, accountability. Now, related to personal strength, you can ask them about attitude toward learning, motivation, intellectual curiosity, energy, and the impact on the classroom environment if it's a professor. Okay. And for the professional strength, well, your responsibility, your interaction with your colleagues, problem solver, reliability, and well, all the things that can demonstrate your strengths. Okay. So you can ask them, you know what, I need to include this. It would be great if you talked about that time we worked together or this project that we did together. Okay, so try to refresh their memory if it's someone that you haven't seen in a long time. Okay. Now, a few topics to discuss with them. Again, what strengths, passions, or qualities you would like to highlight or you would like your recommender to highlight. Okay, again, special projects, special memories. All right. And well, it should include, you don't have to check all of it, but you can focus on qualitative intellectual performance, achievements, leadership, specific examples, stories, okay? Unique insight, progression, and growth. Maybe this person met you and then you change a lot throughout the time that you met. Any challenge you faced in any project or in the years that you met, or months or weeks that you met this person, and actions that make you stand out as a student or professional. Okay. Now, here are some examples, all right, of letters of recommendation. This is a letter of recommendation that could be considered um, general. Okay. So, for example, this is directed or written by for uh, Juanma Molina. All right. And if I change the name, if I put, for example, Héctor Romero, Jose Jaime Gascon, or Luis Manuel Garcia, it can be your letter of recommendation. So if that is the letter of recommendation that you received, maybe you should ask for another one or try to, you know what? You didn't include this time that we worked together. Okay. So it could be for anyone. We need to find another one. Okay. This could be a little bit more what we're looking for. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, don't worry. But it is more focus on detail, focus on projects, okay? And also this one. This one is short. It is a little bit more personal, okay? And you can tell that this person knows, the recommender knows the candidate, all right? We do have some resources in our page of Education USA. I'm going to be sharing with them to you right now, the links, okay? That you can read them before, or you can send them to your recommenders so they know how to write your letter, all right? So this is the moment where we open your microphones. Remember, for it to be easier, we are going to ask you to raise your hand. And when we say your name, you can open the mic. All right. So, Eileen, please.
Okay, so I have a few questions. First of all, do we need a CV or a resume first? Or like it's like up to you if you want to do the CV or the resume or what kind of specification?
Okay.
And then
Well, it is CV.
okay,
Okay. And it is very specific, straightforward. As in the call of participation, as I mentioned before, you need to include it. The format is not like, if you did a resume or you did a CV. No. But if it's a CV, it's okay. Like the format of timeline. Okay.
okay, thank you. And then does it has to be directed to someone specifically, the letter of recommendation, or to
No.
whom it may concern?
To
Yeah.
whom it might concern.
And
It's
lastly,
okay.
does it influence the age like of an undergraduate and a postgraduate due to lack of experience from the undergraduate, like work experiences and stuff?
No, it doesn't. Don't worry about that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Isabella.
Thank you. I got a little bit lost in the part that you said about certifications. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I I am not sure if I understand well, but I think you said that we need to like proof that we have participated in these extracurriculars? Like, how can we prove it? Like, do we?
Well, you can prove it by if you have any diploma, if you have any, but you're not going to include them when you upload the, uh-huh.
That was my question. For example, I do have recognitions or things like that. Like,
Mhm.
do I have to include them or I just keep it to myself and
You keep them to yourself. You can include them written in your CV, okay? But if later on they ask you to prove it, you should have like a paper, no? You're not
okay,
going to include something that you cannot prove. I'm
okay.
not sure. But
Uh,
you don't need to include them in this, like to upload the document with the pictures. You don't have to do that.
Okay, perfect. And my other question
Mhm.
is a question related to well, to a part of the applications that talks about our extracurricular activities. I don't know if I should wait to the next session about the overall application or should I ask it now?
Yes. Right now it's just for CV and um, letters of recommendation. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to upload everything.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mesli?
Hi, I'm sorry I cannot turn on my camera. I'm still on my way home. But my question is, I'm actually I have a scholarship in a French school, and I was wondering because the professor I was thinking to choose as my recommender is a French man, and I was wondering if there is a problem if he writes it in French and I do the like the traduction, I make it by the like in some website, or should I choose someone to another person? Should I ask him to may do it in English, even if it's not as good as it could be in French? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you should find someone else. It could be. And because you're not supposed to change it, or Juanma, is it okay if she translates it from French to Spanish?
No, I was saying that what you were saying was great. I think what we would prefer is that professor would give it to someone else that would do the translation, and then I try to figure out. Maybe you can set that up and to say maybe your professor doesn't have to find that, but maybe you find that person that will do the translation. Maybe a classmate of yours, another professor, because and the idea will be that you would not see that letter. Worst case scenario, if nobody else can do it and you have to do it, that's fine too. But try to have someone else do it and do that for the professor so the professor can upload it.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll just ask somebody to translate it for him. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Francisco?
Yeah, hi. I have two questions. One is related to the letter of recommendation, and is that um sometimes letters of recommendation have like the signature of the person who we asked to write about it, but after that we scan it. So I'm intrigued that should I need to scan it like in a image type PDF, or shall I ask for a signature, like a digital signature?
All right. Well, Juanma, what would you say?
I mean, either one is fine. Whatever
Yes.
is easier for you and for the person that is doing it.
Mm,
Okay, sure. And
they
I have
can.
another question related to the CV, and is should we like try to do a CV that I don't know if you're familiar with the ATS format. I don't know if it's right. So should we like avoid using that format, or should we use it? Yeah.
All right. I'm not familiar with that format, but ATS format template. Yeah. But I will look for it right now. But it should be very simple, like the example that we provided. Like you include everything, like straightforward. Like not
Okay.
not very that you include all the education and everything in like chronological or reverse, and you include everything.
Okay,
Yes.
sure.
All right.
I'll stick to that. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Regina?
Hi, thank you. So I was wondering, I've heard from several scholarships that recommend if you have had like other scholarships to mention that, but I'm not sure if it only applies for the, like for example, I am applying for a LLM, so I don't know if I should only mention scholarships regarding that certificate, or if I could mention like for my bachelor's degree, I also had a scholarship like my entire bachelor. So is that something that I should mention, or is it not worth including?
I think you can include it, because it was given to you through your effort and you apply for it, right?
Yes, from my
Mm-hmm.
university. Yeah.
Yes, because you're going to be including all the things that you had in your bachelor's degree. So, for example, if you have told me, in high school I had a scholarship because of that, well, no. But if it's included in your bachelor's, it would be great that you include everything. Remember to include why, in a brief, concise, why did you were granted that scholarship? Okay, maybe you did a project, maybe you did something. So it would be great to know that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Miguel?
Oh yeah, hi. I have a doubt about the CV because I'm co-author in a publication, but the paper is not published yet. It's in a review. So I have to put this experience in only research experience or publication, but it could be with, I don't know, a review. I don't know how to.
I think you can include it in publication, but with the highlight that it's being reviewed, like it's not published yet.
Okay, thank you.
And of course, you're not going to include a data publishing because you don't have one. So, but it could be like reviewed at the moment. Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Patricio?
Yes, I have a question. In my CV, I'm currently in a private school and I have a scholarship. Should I put like I have like a scholarship in the CV?
Is it an academic scholarship?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Mm, you could include it, sure. I don't see
Sure.
why not. That
Thank you.
you were granted the scholarship through your, like, because you had your grades.
Yeah, because my GPA.
Of your GPA.
Sure.
Yes, of
Thanks.
course. Luisana?
Okay, so for the CV, should we put like all the experience we have? For example, I'm still in high school and well, I have like various jobs that I've had, but it's not related to what I want to study. My question is, in the CV, should I add all my experience or only my experience related to what I'm gonna study?
If you think it's relevant, include it. But it would be better for you to focus your experience related to what you're going to study. For example, or I don't know, Juanma, you want to include something else?
And I think what you're saying, Ana Lucia, is correct. And it also depends because if I remember correctly, you are going for a undergraduate program, right? So it will be different because many times people that go for undergraduate programs don't have that much of experience of many things to put on the essay. I mean, on the CV because you haven't done that many things. In what I would say is remember what we're looking for and whatever evidence that you can give us for that, it's going to be helpful, whether that is that you have been doing babysitting for your family, for your relatives for the last 2 years. What things can we learn from you through that? So it might not be related to what you want to study because maybe you want to do biochemical engineering, but at the same time, because you're an undergrad, you have a little bit more of a freedom to use your experiences to tell us about your character, to tell us about your values, to tell us about all those different things, right? On the other hand, if you are on a graduate program, those experiences might not be as relevant because we're looking for a different kind of profile for that. So for you, it will be yes, you can include those things because we're looking a little bit more into character and things that you've done. And for graduate, we're looking at the character, yes, but also at achievements as a same time. Whereas for undergrads, yes, we're looking into achievements and the wow factor, but also what other things can we find from you from your experiences.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And Gabriela?
Yes, should I put like certificates of participants in music concerts and how many times that I should put those or they're not really necessary or interesting
Mm,
for
you
the CV?
you could. Are you going for undergrad?
Yes.
Are you going for a music program?
No, like business marketing.
Okay. So you can include it like in general, like for example, if it's something that is repetitive, you can say, for example, from this year to this year, I participated in the same event. You don't have to put it like 3 times. For
Okay.
example. Hmm.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you.
All right. You're welcome. Remember, people, simple, concise, straightforward. But at the end of the day, as Juanma was mentioning, we want to know you, okay? And we want to know more about you in this paper that we won't even have a picture to see. Remember that you don't have to include your picture, okay? So, yes. And I have two more questions. Mesli?
Yeah, like similar to the previous question, I
Mm-hmm.
was a best delegate at Model United Nations, different ones, but should I just put like best delegate and put like the year and the model I was awarded in so that it doesn't come out across as repetitive?
Mm-hmm.
Or should I like put one by one?
If it's in like in the same thing, just like I mentioned, like the music concert, you should put it like in from this year to this year. Okay.
Okay.
Or if it's
Okay.
the same model, you can say like from this year to this year, I participated in this and I did this, and this. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Danae?
For the language part, if I have certification in other languages other than English, should I include the certifications in the CV or just
Sure.
the time, how long I have known to speak these other languages?
If you know the level, you can include it. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
Yes. And Melissa?
Hi, I have a question about the recommendation letter.
Sure.
It is okay if the recommendation letter is written by someone from a previous job, for example, not the actual job. Yeah.
Yes. It's okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry. Luis Alberto?
Hi.
Hi.
We are supposed to exclude information before university. Perhaps some uh, background that I feel that could be interesting or important for my academic performance. And I was wondering if I could include it even if it's from high school.
All right. If you think it's relevant, you should include it. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Maybe, for example, you did something in high school that the impact that that's why you chose the year of undergrad that you did. Mention that. Of
Okay,
course.
good.
Just remember the reverse chronological order. Uh-huh. That would be great for us.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Luis Manuel?
Yes, hi. So I already have my CV done. However, I put an introduction at the beginning. So I was wondering, is it okay to leave that introduction there? It is like an introduction to myself, my professional and academic goals, or should I just go straight to the categories like education, etc.?
Mm, I'm not sure, Juanma, if you want to answer
Is
this
it?
or
I think I've seen those. Like, is it like a very like a
brief.
3 lines at the top that say like academic interest or something? Is it something like that?
Yeah, it is a small paragraph with like 4 lines about myself, what I've done, what I aim to do in the future, etc.
Right, right. I think you could keep it. Remember that it's just like should be aesthetically pleasing. That it goes in the format and all that, and as long as it's not like an essay, bigger. I would say that keep it to 3 lines, 4 lines maximum. and well written, summarized, I think it should be fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, very good. So yes, people, remember that we will have three of the requirements for the application to know you. We will have the essay, we will have the CV, and the letter of recommendation, even though you don't write it. Okay, so I'm going to continue with what is next. Okay, so tomorrow, so far we have done 3 sessions. Woo, it's been so fast, right? So tomorrow's session, it will be how to apply. So we're going to be focusing on how to apply, how to submit. Okay, so it is important that you show up with your questions. Of course, you will be able to see the recordings, but you won't be able to have this interaction if you don't show up tomorrow. Tomorrow we have another great presenter, of course, which would be Juanma, that you already met during the questions. And also remember that on Friday you're going to be meeting the grantees, okay? And we will have a Q&A with them, okay? Remember, it is the same link, the same time, all right? And Vanessa, you have a question?
Yes, sorry, it was
It's
about the
okay.
application as well. But
Okay.
I was wondering, what do you think? It would be a good idea to ask my boss to do the letter of recommendation.
Yeah. If that person can write something positive and encouraging about you, sure. I don't see why not.
Totally. Yeah,
Of
yeah, yeah.
course. Yes.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
All right. Oh, we will have more questions. How about to close it? Luis Carlos, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Uh, I was wondering if there is any problem if the name of my current job position does not match my responsibilities.
Mm,
My position is IT technician, and
mhm.
but my responsibilities are more from a data analyst
It's okay.
or even
Mhm.
that's okay.
I don't see the why not, but make sure that you explained it well, okay, in your description. Okay,
Okay,
sure.
thanks.
You're welcome. And Luis Pimentel?
Yeah, I was just wondering how old can my letter of recommendation be?
It should be current. It should be updated.
But for example, maybe I asked a letter of recommendation 2 months ago. Can I use that one?
Is it relevant and is it focused on the scholarship or the call of
Yeah,
participation?
yeah. Oh, for
Mm,
another scholarship, but it's basically kind of the same idea.
if you think it will help you with this scholar participation, 2 months, I think it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. But remember to
Can I add
sure.
something to that just real quick?
Yes.
Uh,
One more.
we have seen, for example, letters of recommendation that are too general or they're not for this scholarship. So and it would even say the name of something else.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure, like the best letter of recommendation would be a letter that was written specifically for this program, because it would be it is different if you're applying for a job, it is different applying for something else. The best ones are the ones that are written and the person who writes it knows that you took the time to explain what the opportunity funds program is and why you are a good fit for this scholarship, right? So as to the best of your abilities, try to do that, right? That's what I would say.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. Luis Manuel?
Yes, I have one more question. I'm
Sure.
going a little bit off topic with this one, but I was just wondering, I think you guys already touched on this topic yesterday, but in my case, I work full time for a company, so I know this scholarship is pretty demanding for accepted grantees. So I was just like, I've been going around in my mind about this topic because will I have to like I don't know, like limit my working hours once I'm accepted, if that's the case, of course. But I was just wondering, like, will we be able to balance work and also applying for the universities?
Yes, I think the answer yesterday was don't quit your job. Yes, like or limit. Like I'm pretty sure if you get the grantee, you will be able to balance. Okay. but I don't know
Can
if
can
Juanma
I
wants to add.
also?
Yes.
Yeah, I can I also jump on that. Uh, it is a very demanding program, and you will see in the application process, it does say that you will need to spend 15 to 20 hours a week in the program. So that doesn't mean that you will should quit your job. It means that you're going to take that time out of somewhere else. It means that your weekends are going to be different. It means that you might not go to that movie on Thursday night or something, right? So that's what we're saying. That is that you should be aware that this will take a lot of your free time and also probably some of your other time, right? Uh, I mean, if you're chosen to be an opportunity funds grantee, is because you're a very busy and productive person already, right? There's many things you've done, many accomplishments. You are in so many clubs. You're so many different things. This is going to add to what you are already doing. So we expect that you will be doing a lot of work on your own. You will be doing a lot of sessions like this where you have to connect probably once or twice a week, but most of the time is going to be doing a lot of things on your own. So you might be going to bed at 12 at noon, or just doing things on Saturdays, practicing or doing test prep or doing different things. But it is a time consuming program. And what we have seen is a lot of opportunity funds grantees have experience on that because they're usually uh, very um, like they have experience having tons of B's and A's in their schools and doing research projects and all that. So it's kind of like it continues with their lifestyle, I guess. But yeah, so just to have in mind, we're not asking you to get out of other responsibilities and stuff. It's just that this is going to add, but you should be aware that is a time consuming program. Because remember, you're looking for a full scholarship, which is kind of like winning the lottery, and we've been able to help students do that, but it will take a lot of work from our side and from your side too.
Awesome. Thanks for the clarification. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Regina.
Yes, I have one more question.
Sure.
Regarding the person that I'm asking my recommendation letter, she's a professor that used to teach at my university, but
Mhm.
she's no longer working there. Is there an issue with the letter not being like sent from the institutional email or something like that?
I don't think there will be a problem, but she should mention that she met you during that time.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep,
to
no
give
problem.
us context. Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Dina Laura?
Hey there.
Hi.
I was wondering about the research part. I don't have like many things maybe to put in there, and I haven't had any article published or anything. The only thing that I'm thinking is a work that I did in a subject, and we presented in a conference. Can I use that?
If you were involved and you have like a proactive participation on it, I don't see why not.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect. Thank you.
very good. All right, do you have any other questions, Sibyl? Yeah. All right. So make sure that you connect tomorrow. Again, the commercial, of course, to how to apply. It is important because like it's like kind of like the last step, all right? And that you need to be very sure so your application is complete. Okay. And again, on Friday, we're going to have the Q&A with the grantees where you can ask them questions related to the admission process, like what you're currently doing right now, and they will be very happy to help you out. So we will see you tomorrow, same time, same link. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
Bye.
you.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
Guys.
Thank you so
tomorrow.
much.
See you
Bye
tomorrow.
bye.